I am continuing my reading. What I'm doing in this series is to read through the entire standard works of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. This consists of the Bible, the Book of Mormon, the Doctrine and Covenants, and the Pearl of Great Price. I am reading in a chronological order of events, not according to publication or volume, so I will be skipping around a bit as I move along. We are continuing Jeremiah. This will be chapter 31. This will be our last chapter in Jeremiah for now, after which we will be turning to Ezekiel. This is a bit of a long one, so let's get to it. In the last days Israel shall be gathered. Ephraim has the birthright as the firstborn. The Lord will make a new covenant with them and be inscribed in their heart. Then shall they all know the Lord. At the same time, saith the Lord, will I be the God of all the families of Israel, and they shall be my people. Thus saith the Lord, the people which were left of the sword found grace in the wilderness, even Israel, when I went to cause him to rest. The Lord hath appeared of old unto me, saying, Yea, I have loved thee with an everlasting love. Therefore with loving kindness have I drawn thee. Again I will build thee, and thou shalt be built, O Virgin of Israel. Thou shalt again be adorned with thy tabrets, and shalt go forth in the dances of them that make merry. Thou shalt yet plant vines upon the mountains of Samaria. The planters shall plant and shall eat them as common things. For there shall be a day that the watchmen upon the Mount Ephraim shall cry, Arise ye, and let us go up to Zion unto the Lord our God. For thus saith the Lord, Sing with gladness for Jacob, and shout among the chief of the nations. Publish ye, praise ye, and say, O Lord, save thy people, the remnant of Israel. Behold, I will bring them from the north country, and gather them from the coasts of the earth, and with them the blind and the lame, the woman with child, and her that travaileth with child together. A great company shall return thither. They shall come with weeping, and with supplications will I lead them. They shall come with weeping, and with supplications will I lead them. I will cause them to walk by the rivers of waters in a straight way, wherein they shall not stumble. For I am a father to Israel, and Ephraim is my firstborn. So this is the return of the tribes of Ephraim, the northern tribes. He talks about the mountains of Samaria. This is the restoration not of the Jews, but of Ephraim, the firstborn. Remember, Ephraim's the firstborn of Joseph. He's actually not the firstborn. Manasseh was the firstborn, but Ephraim was given the birthright. And so he's considered the firstborn because he was given the birthright. And Joseph got the birthright from Jacob, who had the birthright from Isaac. And so that's what it means by the firstborn. It's the one that has the birthright. Verse 10. Hear the word of the Lord, O ye nations, and declare it in the isles afar off, and say, He that scattered Israel will gather him, and keep him as a shepherd doth his flock. For the Lord hath redeemed Jacob, and ransomed him from the hand of him that was stronger than he. Therefore they shall come and sing in the height of Zion, and shall flow together to the goodness of the Lord, for wheat, and for wine, and for oil, and for the young of the flock, and of the herd. And their soul shall be as a watered garden, and they shall not sorrow any more at all. Then shall the virgin rejoice in the dance, both young men and old together, for I will turn their mourning into joy, and will comfort them, and make them rejoice from their sorrow. And I will satiate the soul of the priests with fatness, and my people will be satisfied with my goodness, saith the Lord. So this sounds like a description of, again, the gathering of Israel, but also Zion, and especially the millennial time, where it's all peace and prosperity. There's enough food for everybody. There's no suffering. That's what it seems to be describing here. Verse 15. Thus saith the Lord, a voice was heard in Ramah, lamentation and bitter weeping. Rahel, weeping for her children, refused to be comforted for her children, because they were not. Thus saith the Lord, refrain thy voice from weeping, and thine eyes from tears, for thy work shall be rewarded, saith the Lord. And they shall come again from the land of the enemy. And there is hope in thine end, saith the Lord, that thy children shall come again to their own border. This is a messianic prophecy to some extent. It's in a voice heard in Ramah, lamentation, Rahel weeping. That's Rachel. That's talking about the slaughter of the children by Herod at the birth of Christ. It's referenced in Matthew. Matthew talks about this as being fulfilled by that event. But there is hope in thine end, it says. So there will be great sorrow, there will be great persecution, but in the end, Israel will triumph. Verse 18. I have surely heard Ephraim bemoaning himself thus. Thou hast chastised me, and I was chastised, as a bullock unaccustomed to the yoke, Turn thou me, and I shall be turned, for thou art the Lord my God. Surely after that I was turned, I repented, and after that I was instructed, I smote upon my thigh. I was ashamed, yea, even confounded, because I did bear the reproach of my youth. Is Ephraim my dear son? Is he a pleasant child? For since I spake against him, I do earnestly remember him still. Therefore my bowels are troubled for him. I will surely have mercy upon him, saith the Lord. Set thee up waymarks, make thee high heaps. Set thine heart toward the highway, even the way which thou wentest. Turn again, O Virgin of Israel, turn again to these thy cities. How long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, as yet they shall use this speech in the land of Judah, and in the cities thereof, when I shall bring again their captivity. The Lord bless thee, O habitation of justice and mountain of holiness. And there shall dwell in Judah itself, and in all the cities thereof together, husbandmen, and they that go forth with flocks. For I have satiated the weary soul, and I have replenished every sorrowful soul. Upon this I awaked, and beheld, and my sleep was sweet unto me. So again, this is the gathering, but we have the gathering first of Ephraim, the firstborn, the sweet child that is still remembered of God. The covenant is still remembered. Ephraim still has the birthright to this day. And in the last days and in Zion, they will hold the right of rulership. But Jerusalem and the Jews will also be restored as they were in the past. Verse 27. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will sow the house of Israel and the house of Judah with the seed of man and with the seed of beast. And it shall come to pass that like as I have watched over them to pluck up and to break down and to throw down and to destroy and to afflict, so will I watch over them and build and to plant, saith the Lord. In those days they shall say no more, the fathers have eaten our sour grape, and the children's teeth are set on edge. But every one shall die for his own iniquity, and every man that eateth the sour grape, his teeth shall be set on edge. So justice is going to be restored. The people will be gathered. This is the seed of man and beast. In other words, there's going to be many children. They're going to multiply, and justice will be done. Verse 31. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, although I was an husband unto them, saith the Lord. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel. After those days, saith the Lord, I will put my law in their inward parts, and write it in their hearts, and will be their God, and they shall be my people. And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor, and every man his brother, saying, Know the Lord. For they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them, saith the Lord. For I will forgive their iniquity, and I will remember their sin no more. Thus saith the Lord, which giveth the sun for the light by day, and the ordinances of the moon and of the stars for a light by night, which divideth the sea when the waves thereof roar. The Lord of hosts is his name. If those ordinances depart from before me, saith the Lord, then the seed of Israel also shall cease from being a nation before me forever. Thus saith the Lord, if heaven above can be measured, and the foundations of the earth searched out beneath, I will also cast off all the seed of Israel for all that they have done, saith the Lord. I like this last one here. We had that going to be the husbandman. It's going to be a new covenant, meaning not the law of Moses. That's what the old covenant was, the law of Moses. That's the covenant he made when they came out of Egypt. But he's going to make a new covenant with them. It's going to be the original covenant made with Adam, with Noah, with Abraham. And it's going to be established in Zion where everybody knows. There's going to be no need to be teaching because everybody will know. And then this is his assurance. He is the Son that giveth the sun, and he giveth the sun and the ordinances of the moon. And if those things end, sorry for the noise, but that's his assurance. If the sun and the moon stop their regular motions, if you can actually measure the sun, measure the heavens, if man can search out and know all the depths of the earth, if these things ever happen, then you can say that God will not keep his word. But until the sun ends and the moon stops moving in its regular motion, until man can search out all of heaven, then we have the assurance that God's word will also stand. Let's finish this out. Verse 38. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that the city shall be built to the Lord, from the tower of Hananiel unto the gate of the corner, and the measuring line shall yet go forth over against it upon the hill Gareb, and shall compass about to Goath, and the whole valley of the dead bodies and of the ashes, and all the fields up unto the brook Kidron, unto the corner of the house gate toward the east, shall be holy unto the Lord. It shall not be plucked up, nor thrown down any more forever. So there's his promise that Jerusalem will once again be rebuilt. This is a good prophecy. Not of the last days, not of the tribulations and all the wars and everything, but this is the rise of Zion and the millennial reign, the restoration of Israel, and it's beautiful. But we leave that here and we turn to Ezekiel next, so we will see you there.